Hello, and welcome to Warrior Bowl Live, the very first Warrior Bowl Live of 2021, and our first ever rookie mock draft. So, joined as always by Foley, who couldn't be wearing more Warrior Bowl merch if he tried.
This is really uncomfortable, actually. I'm going to have to take this off. Sorry. Could you see me making gestures at you when that countdown was on? Just so we know.
Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate it.
Good. Okay.
And then we've also got JB with us for this one today. How are we, JB?
Yeah, good. Thanks, dude. Thanks for having me. Feels very formal. Saying
It
that.
does feel very formal. You've never been that nice to each other in the years I've known you.
No, it's true.
We'll start off nice, and then when he makes a horrible pick, then we can pile on him.
Yeah, he's not going to, though. He knows like more than us put together.
Yeah. We'll just make out it's horrible. We don't know what we're doing.
He's Globo Jim to our average Joes.
I lose ultimately, though, don't I? So
yes, you do.
True. That's true. That's true. So yeah, as Foley just said, that the purpose or the idea behind tonight is we're going to do a rookie draft, but there's no analysts. There's nobody in here that's producing their own rankings. That's a content creator. We're all just your average Joe fans. So hopefully the draft might look a little bit more like whatever your home league draft might look like. That's not full of ringers and analysts that have been studying film for months and months and know exactly who these people are. So we've got 4 rounds. I'm expecting Foley to run out of names by about the middle of the first round. And we'll see where we go from there.
If anyone takes Kyle Pitts before me, I'm screwed. Don't do it.
Well,
so
yeah. So on that, the purpose or the format for the draft is it's Superflex. It's full PPR and it's 1.5 point tight end premium. So basically the same scoring that we use in Warrior Bowl. So let's get the draft board up and let's get ourselves kicked off. So JB, you are leading us off at 101, and we've got 2 minutes on the clock. Chaps.
You know you got to take the Falcons QB that's going to go there, right?
Oh, mate, I so hope that we do get a QB this year. Yeah, no surprises with who I'm going to go with at 101. It makes a lot of sense. There it is. Trevor Lawrence. Don't mess about. Don't overcomplicate things.
You've been telling us you'd go Wilson over Trevor Lawrence.
No. I like personality-wise, I really like Zach Wilson. I think he's got that swag that you kind of look for, a little bit like Joe Burrow last year. Do you know what I mean? He's a gamer. I like that when QB's like that. But Trevor Lawrence is, it's a bit of a machine, isn't he?
He's got better hair.
Yeah, he's got better hair too.
It was Wilson.
No, Trevor Lawrence has got the best hair. Do you think he'll get a Justin Herbert type haircut?
I hope not. He's got lovely hair.
Oh, there we go. Justin Fields gone.
So yeah, no big surprises, I guess, so far. Trevor Lawrence 1, Fields 2, Harris at 3.
Yeah.
So we've got Dan picking at 4.
You picking just before me, Sunshine?
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Don't worry, you can pick before me on the way back.
No, I can't.
Oh no, you can't. No, sorry.
How is this your first rookie draft? Even though this afternoon you were giving Dan a world of.
No, I was. I was saying that. I was saying that on purpose because I knew that you couldn't snipe me back. So,
sure.
I will go.
Oh no! What am I gonna do? Oh, I've run out of names.
Mac.
Run out of names.
Interesting.
So, Superflex. You got obviously. And I think there should be some sort of penalty for how many times we say landing spot during the course of this draft, because I feel like it could be used a lot. But
it's eating into my time.
It has to be said when it comes to Mac Jones a little bit though, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's interesting.
Right. If he slips to the Saints as our pick, I'll be very happy with that. I think he's got the ability to actually be good after a while. after a bit of development. Anyway, it's my turn. So just to give you a little bit of context, because it might actually help me understand a little bit more afterwards who I picked and why I picked it. I'm using my main dynasty team as the reason behind who I pick, or maybe the position I pick at least, so it gives me a little bit of a reason. So my dynasty team, very, very quickly, top names. I've got Mahomes, Stafford, and Goff at QB. I've got Taylor, Jacobs, Sanders, and then a few others at running back. I've got MT, Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, then a few youngsters. And at tight end, I've got Goddard, Bryant, and Jonnu. So actually, it probably makes sense for me to potentially take Pitts if we're looking at tight end premium. I don't know if I'm as sold on him as everybody seems to say, like he's the new Megatron or whatever, because I haven't looked at any tape and I've just basically read what a few other people have said. But with tight end actually being a little bit weak for me, I mean, Goddard might have a chance. Johnny might have a chance, depending on where he lands. And Bryant's a good kind of, next year prospect or year after prospect. But it probably makes sense for me to take Pitts if he's as good as people say he is, especially if he goes somewhere like, I don't know, Patriots or somewhere where he's been mocked 2 loads. JB, is that right? Or am I an idiot?
Mate, I think the sky's the limit for Kyle Pitts, in all honesty. And like you said, in tight end premium, yeah, maybe. Do you know what I mean? If you're going by your team and that's a kind of need, why not take one of the kind of best talents at that position there has been for a very, very long time? Might as well.
Is he that good?
He's that good, man. He's that good. 100%. He'll change the outlook of whatever team's offense he goes to instantly. He's just like a bit of a freak.
Is it supposed to be a weak tight end class though? I mean, the only other 2 names I know are Frymouth and Brevin Jordan.
Compared to other years, it's actually not that bad. I mean, to get 3 kind of tight ends that you would be happy with, do you know what I mean? And that are going to potentially be starters where they kind of go. Yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of a good class. I mean, if you're not taking Pitts and you're going to have to pay for Pitts, then if you could get someone, get one of the other 2, like in rounds 3 or 4, it's great value, to be honest. See, Trey Lance.
Pitts is rarely going to get out of the first round, is he? In something like this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in a league that's not tight end premium, maybe he might slip to round 2, but who knows?
Look at this value though at the end of the first round, getting Jamar Chase and Devonta Smith.
What? That's not right.
Oh, okay.
What's he done?
Okay.
This is for his Dynasty Dungeon team, and he is that bad at QB that taking Kurt Warner might actually be a decent shout.
For anybody that's unsure, that is Mr. Moneyball Mason. Regularly joins us on the live stream, and true to form, doesn't know what he's doing. Kevin, it's rookies that we're picking.
Talk to us, JB.
Mate, so yeah, this is a great spot. At first I was thinking, 101, pretty boring. But 201 is quite possibly in Superflex leagues this year, like the spot that people want to be at, because you can see already how much value has kind of been pushed all the way back, and you can get like round 1 talent here as well. I think Javonte Williams is probably the last of the kind of top 3 RBs that you want. And it might come down to landing spot, but for me, there's just like no question about who to go for at 201 if he's here still. And who is it's Rashad Bateman. 100%.
Is he the guy with like the thighs the width of my house?
No. So he's basically
was that Rondael
he's just
Moore?
kind of like a very, 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 very good wide receiver who's just got everything that you kind of look for: size, good hands, route running. He's just very, very good. Like they're saying that he's this year's Justin Jefferson. So if you can get him at like 201, and do you know what I mean? And you could potentially get that alpha wide receiver. Yeah. You just got to hope he doesn't go somewhere like the Ravens, or do you know what I mean? Somewhere where they don't necessarily throw the ball as much. Because if he goes somewhere where,
he's the hot guy though, isn't he? He's the hot guy this year. He's the guy that's kind of benefited from that sort of that hype. If you'd looked at the end of the season, like December time, he wasn't necessarily talked as highly of. But as off seasons progressed, he's the guy this year that's just climbing up boards, and more people are hyping him up.
Yeah, he's the value, definitely. I mean, you're going to pay for Jamar Chase, you're going to pay for Devonta. I'm surprised like Jalen Waddle's gone before him, because I think Jalen Waddle, like, you know, is a really, really good talent as well. But I just don't think he's the same kind of wide receiver as Rashad Bateman. I think Waddle's like maybe like a number 2 with upside. Do you know what I mean?
Is he not a bit gadgety, a bit kind of line of scrimmage yards after the catch?
He's like, speed is kind of like his thing. But it's kind of like Rashad Bateman's that one you can just line up at X. Do you know what I mean? And he's just going to catch everything. You like can really take over a game. Whereas Waddle might be kind of dependent on the kind of philosophy that team runs. It's like deep passes, kind of screens, a lot of yak stuff.
Yeah. And so the other guy that's, again, been really popular, I think, at the offseason is Rondael Moore. And that's probably who I would have taken here if he'd have lasted. I think he's the guy that you're referring to, Foley, with the thighs.
Yeah.
So I'd have probably gone with him. But as he's gone, I think I'm going to go with Michael Carter.
I heard him on a podcast. Someone talked about him on a podcast this morning, saying they loved him, but he's quite light, though, isn't he? He's like 190 pounds or something.
Yeah, I think he's just shy of 200.
Yeah, well, that makes it a little bit easy for me, because you kind of want to go wide receiver in the second round from everything I hear, because there's still a good maybe 4 or 5 who could end up being contributors in the first year, right? But if you look at my dynasty team, I actually need a running back pretty desperately more than a wide receiver. So I'm probably going to have to go running back here. So JB, I'm looking at Kenny Gainwell. Is that the right kind of decision there? Because he seems to be the one that people are talking about potentially, depending on where he lands, potentially even jumping up to that first tier, because he looks like.
Yeah, I would have personally taken Kenny over Michael Carter.
In your face and shine.
I think both are really good, and both are kind of smaller running backs. But Kenneth Gainwell has slightly higher ceiling. If you go and look at some of his tape, he's arguably got the best hands, like running back hands in the class. Like, and you know, some people will probably argue for Najee or even Travis, but Kenneth Gainwell is like, they line him up in the slot. He's fast. He's really powerful considering how small he is. And he played, you know, at Memphis, where Antonio Gibson's from, and the running backs
out the team, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, exactly. So the kind of players that they kind of like to have in their backfield can do it all. So yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, even though he's a little bit smaller than Antonio Gibson, there's a lot of talk that if he kind of weighs in at one of his pro days, like anything like 210, maybe, you know, over 200, his kind of stock is going to really rise. So one of the knocks on Gibson last year was that he didn't carry the ball much, did he? Yeah.
He was used a lot as a receiver and that sort of stuff. And one of the main reasons he didn't carry the ball that much is because Gainwell carried the ball the majority of the time in that offense. So I know Murph over at 5 Yard Rush, Gainwell that's his favourite running back out of this class.
Yeah. He's good, man.
So to get him at 2.7 then is potentially pretty decent.
Yeah, he's usually been going at around 201, 202.
Right.
So yeah, to get him there is great. I mean, those kind of wide receivers that went before him, you know, apart from Rondael Moore, I probably would have taken Kenneth Gainwell over Tony or Marshall, perhaps.
Man, I should have been getting rid of my second round picks recently. Damn.
Yeah, you want to be in the second round this year.
Jamie Newman, is that a real? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That is a real QB.
Yeah, that is a real QB.
Guys, remembered we're back on rookies, not retired Hall of Famers. But there's one of the other tight ends that you were mentioning that's gone there. Both of them.
Big Pat. Oh yeah.
Did Brevin Jordan just go as well? Oh yeah,
he did. Pike took him there at the end of the second.
Cool. So this is where it gets a little bit more
fruity.
Yeah. So like, I should go wide receiver here. Because I reckon
you like Kyle Trask, you said, didn't you? You were telling me the other day you like Kyle Trask.
No, not really.
Oh.
Because the quality and the kind of value here is definitely still with wide receiver. But I could probably do with a running back myself. One of the people that I'm quite high on, who just kind of showed flashes last year of what he's potentially all about, is this guy, Jamar Jefferson. You could potentially go Tuba there, but there are so many kind of questions around him. Like, is he any good? He's like, his vision, he's like, his speed is like elite, but his vision and whatnot is just not great. Whereas Jamar Jefferson,
has he just had like a really bad year? Because this time last year, before he opted out, he was in the mix for not necessarily 1 or 2, maybe, but top 5, wasn't he?
Mate, if he had came out last year, he would have been like one of the first running backs gone. He was kind of
What's happened?
I think he fell out with the coaching staff or something like that. He kind of spoke out, and then he got less carries, and then his kind of inefficiencies kind of came to the fore. Like, he's never really been very good. He's not got very good vision. So like he doesn't break a lot of tackles. He goes down quite easily, but he's absolutely rapid. And like, if he was to go somewhere like the 49ers that run that kind of zone kind of run, like, you know, where there's open lane, he'll be a smash. Like, I think if Travis Etienne goes there, Travis Etienne will be the first running back kind of taken over Najee easily.
I heard that today, actually. I listened to a podcast and they were saying that.
Yeah.
I was trying to do some actual research. Why don't you do a podcast, JB?
So you've got undoubtedly you've got someone lined up for the next pick, haven't you, Foley? Already. You sat there, you're ready to go.
Tony Yababa.
Definitely taking this guy.
He's getting picked. Oh yeah, it's my picking it, isn't it?
What about round 3?
I'm going to take a wide receiver. I'm going to pick a name, and I'm going to pretend I'm happy about it. How about you? That was the guy I was going to pick. It really was.
Well, was it really?
Yeah. I've got a comp of CD Lamb, so I was like, well, he's CD Lamb, I'll take him.
That's basically how it works, isn't it?
Pretty much.
So that's me. So let's have a little look, shall we? So
you are Googling hard there, aren't you?
I'm not Googling. I'm just making sure I can find who I want to find. We don't want another Saquon incident, do we?
Don't take the next guy that I'm going to pick, because then I'll have to search for another one and read something.
I hope that I am. So I won't say who I'm going to pick. I'll just let it appear, and we'll judge by your reaction.
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
Come on, then, give us some. Why'd
you take that guy? Why'd you take that guy?
Wisdom about why
you've seen his name before. Huh?
Yeah, he's on the list, isn't he?
He's on your list. Yeah.
No, the list.
All right, I'm going to take wide receiver, and I'm going to take this guy because I've seen him comp to Kenny Golladay, and I could do with that in my team. How about that, JB? Is that right?
Seth Williams. Yeah, man. Seth Williams is interesting.
He's one of the few guys I've actually seen a little bit of tape on, and I quite liked him, to be honest.
Yeah. He's like, there's nothing like fancy about him, but you know what I mean? It's like those big wide receivers, there's a spot for them. Do you know what I mean? 100%. We pass the ball so much in the NFL. I just said it as if I'm a QB. I'm not a QB.
There's still time.
There is still time.
He just seemed to. I thought when I was watching, not that I'm any sort of expert, but he just seemed to. Although he didn't get targeted a lot, he just seemed to consistently find himself in soft spots, in coverage.
Yeah.
Which again, he's finding those holes. Maybe he's not getting targeted, but
Yeah.
not expecting anything from him day one in the NFL. But if he can consistently find the gaps and the holes in the coverages, then somebody's going to a decent offense, a decent QB will find him. So
yeah, man.
Nandika with the Elijah Moore pick. He's basically copied the same rankings that we have, hasn't he?
So whose rankings did you end up stealing, Foley, after you trawled Twitter in search of some advice?
Nobody's. Not the one that you recommended to me anyway. That you did.
My own rankings. I don't have my own rankings. I just have a list.
No, the one that you recommended to copy. Oh wait, did I recommend it to you? No, I think I recommended it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, Rich Dynasty Island is a lovely chap. He's got great rankings. So there's a free plug. Not that he needs it from me.
Is that whose rankings you're going off?
Kind of.
Kind of. With a little bit of Foley instinct, intuition, based off no knowledge whatsoever sprinkled in.
That's the magic dust, isn't it?
I like it.
That's the magic dust. Well, actually, if this was my main dynasty team, which I said I'm kind of basing it on, it worked out really, really well because I need tight end solidified. I could do with someone coming in and beating my other 10 tight ends out for the starting job, which Pitts would. Kenny Gainwell is a really good running back 4. He'd be on my squad. So that I'm delighted with. And Seth Williams is a wide receiver, I think. So that'll do.
It sounded like Kev to have gone all wide receivers. All quarterbacks even.
He loved it, didn't he?
Oh, man. Cool.
Back to you, JB.
Yeah, man. So to get this guy in the 4th round, I think is a bit of a steal because he's been going in the 2nd in a load of mocks. And he's another one of those kind of like wide receivers that's kind of nothing flashy, but he's like, I think he's like 6'4", and he's like really quick. He's got good hands. And it's Tamarion Terry. And I think if he goes somewhere where he gets like a bit of a shot, a bit of an opportunity, few targets, he's a real good red zone threat, but he's actually got wheels. He's like I think he's 6'4", something like that. But he kind of moves really well. He can be a real nightmare, I think, for some people. So yeah, to get him in the 4th round, I think is a steal, man. I thought he would go in the 3rd.
Nice.
At this point, I'm pretty much down to one name in terms of who I would like to try and get. If they go,
I've got one name.
Stick a pin in it, and we'll take that guy.
I'm all right in thinking though. You kind of do before you really get to proper rankings. You really do need to wait until the draft because it does make. I know we're not allowed to say landing spot dependent, but it does make such a big difference, doesn't it? I'm sure it did last year anyway. I remember knowing a little bit about rookies, but not really caring too much. The draft happened, and I went to town on rankings and opportunity and that type of thing. It just means so much more, doesn't it, when they've gone somewhere?
I think it does a little bit, but at the same time, I'd probably put a lot of weight on talent too. Still,
I think a lot of the time it will depend on how quickly they're going to become relevant. Because if they're talented, they should still ultimately rise to the top. Yeah. But if they end up where there's a load of competition or it's a bad offense or something like that, then it might take longer for them to become relevant. But
I suppose even Allen Robinson's been good despite being with possibly the worst quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, this is it, man.
So we're down to the one pick before me. I just better check my person's still there and I haven't gone, because otherwise I might.
Who are you waiting on? Tell us.
I'm not saying it. Oh, I think I might have missed them.
Who is it?
Why are they not coming up on the list?
It's gone now. It was Amari Rodgers, wasn't it?
It wasn't Amari Rodgers.
Go on, I've got my name.
Have I missed somebody taking Jalen Darden? Somebody take him?
No, I don't think so.
He's not a real player.
He is a real player. Why is he not on the list?
You're not sure, though, are you? You're not sure?
Yeah,
You're not sure now?
Definitely sure.
Just take Saquon.
Jalen Darden.
Isn't he like, I don't know, is he declared? Is he
a linebacker?
Pretty sure he has. Nope. Right. Well, apparently he's not on Sleeper. So,
how did you pick the only guy that doesn't exist?
If anyone knows why he's not on Sleeper, they're welcome to stick it in the chat and let me know. But
if anyone wants proof that we don't know what we're doing,
I'm trying to draft a guy that doesn't exist. Okay. So, in which case, we'll just go with this guy. Without knowing a great deal about him, other than I'm pretty sure I watched a couple of bits of tape on him, and he looked all right. So, in light of the fact I can't take the guy I actually wanted to take, Kev says he sounds like an estate agent, which, I mean, he may very well be. But
he might mean you.
He might mean me. He might do.
Which means my guy's still there. And if you want a guy with a traction engine for a right foot, you're going to go with Yeboah! You can't not take Yeboah in the fourth, just in case it came to it and he just had to bang it in off the crossbar. No one's going to know what that reference is about, are they? Twice he banged it in off the crossbar, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
What a legend.
Mate, but those are the only 2 goals that I remember.
Yeah, he probably didn't score any others.
Like
couple of screamers, and that was it.
Yeah,
Leeds,
he was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Leeds. What like the first one was against Liverpool, wasn't it? And then the second one was it Wimbledon? Wimbledon in the league.
Was it the FA Cup? Wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it was just I think it was just a Prem game.
Yeboah! I'm happy to give Yeboah there.
I'm currently Googling as to whether Jalen Darden has declared for the draft because I'm positive that he has.
Yeah. Yeah, that is strange.
Who's Nandika going for here?
Yeah, 13th of December, North Texas wide receiver Jalen Darden declared for the NFL draft on Sunday.
Switched to cornerback last week.
Yeah, maybe.
So why is he not on Sleeper? The good people of Sleeper, come on.
Nandika's gone Hunt Along.
Did you think Nandika knows who Hunt Along is?
No chance whatsoever. I don't know who Kenny Yeboah is.
That's true.
Yeboah!
So yeah, the list of players left available. There's got to be a QB. I'll be honest, there's not many names that I know left on that list. Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, Tutu Atwell. I've got actually on my rankings that I spent a lot of time on. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's wide receiver 8, so he must be up there for a reason.
I think I've watched a little bit of him, and you know what? The biggest note I wrote next to him. Nothing stood out.
He'll be gutted.
So that probably means he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But there we go. 4 rounds.
Ian Brook sounds like an estate agent.
It's Ian Brook.
He does sound like an estate agent. So Ian Brook is on Sleeper, but Jalen Darden isn't on Sleeper. What is going on here?
It's not Brook though. It's Book, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is Book. Yeah, you're right.
He'll do your books for you, won't he? He's an accountant.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah. He'll sort you right. I'll get your tax return done. No bother.
Normally, when we go through these drafts, I'd say talk us through your team. But
no problem.
I think we've proved already we don't really know a great deal about these people that we've drafted. But
rounds 1 and 2, I do. Round
go
4,
on then. Well, hit me with what you've got for round 1 and 2.
Round 1 and 2. So if this was for my dynasty team, I would actually be really happy with that. Like I said, I'd have Kyle Pitts as slotting right in as my tight end, one above Goddard, and above Jonnu Smith with Hunter Bryant there as you know a kind of longer term prospect. So I'd be happy with that. Kenneth Gainwell would be coming in as a running back 4 or 5, which I'd be delighted with. Seth Williams is a wide receiver I would probably put on my bench And Tony Yeboah. Yeboah! I think that's
so.
Tony analysis.
I mean, you've basically just listed the names, which is useful.
Yeah, a bit. JP,
Come on, JB, you've got some insight. Come on.
Into whose team? Into Foley's team?
No, do yours.
Whoever.
Cool. Well, I think everyone, I think like rounds 1 and 2 kind of went as you'd probably expect, to be honest. I think it does get a little bit kind of dicey when you get to round 3. And I think that's when what you said, Foley, about landing spot will probably make a few decisions for people. I think getting Frymouth and Brevin Jordan at the end of round 2 in a Titan premium might be quite tasty. I'd prefer maybe one of them, maybe Brevin Jordan in round 3. I reckon there's a load of wide receivers I'd probably still take over him, but definitely Pitts and Frymouth should go like kind of early in premium, especially like in like a Warrior Bowl kind of scoring system. Both of them have got like a real talent. But yeah, man, everyone has done actually all right, to be honest. No offense, Kev. Kev has obviously picked for his dynasty team, but I don't see getting Kyle Trask actually in round 3 could be quite good.
That could be a result at the end of the 3rd round.
It could be a result, definitely. But yeah, Kurt Warner in round 1. I'm not sure what he was doing there.
I think once you get, I think it's like you say, the first 2 rounds, there's a lot of coverage on these guys. There's a lot of people writing articles and rankings and all that sort of stuff. But I think once you get into the 2nd round, once you get into the 3rd and 4th round, just take your shot on whoever you like, really, isn't it? It's nobody knows at that point, do they? There'll be a lot of speculation. People will have preferences, but I think once you get into rounds 3 and 4, just if there's a guy you like, just take him, because we're into lottery tickets time at that point, aren't we? So
similar to last year. Like if you're in round 3, mate, definitely go for somebody who has potential, like to a starting position, a starting role. Do you know what I mean? A bit similar to how like Antonio Gibson was going into a backfield that had no real kind of running back one. Granted, the whole stuff.
I don't know. It did before he was a horrible boy and got chucked out of the league. He was.
But I mean,
was the man, wasn't
he? He was, but no one had ever seen it yet, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Was that before the draft or after? That was after the draft, wasn't it?
No, it was after the draft. Yeah.
It was after, but it was kind of like still nobody kind of knew what Antonio Gibson was at that point. So taking
a wide receiver, wasn't he?
Yeah, taking a flyer on him. Do you know what I mean? In a backfield that had so many kind of questions is like a smart kind of thing to do. Do you know what I mean? And I think you should do that this year. If say one of these running backs in round 3 goes to somewhere like the Seahawks, do you know what I mean? It goes somewhere like 49ers, these kind of like backfields that have Falcons. Well, Falcons just need a number 1. We don't have anybody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think if we draft somebody like Javonte Williams, for example, he's a round 1 pick, like easily. Do you know what I mean? Anybody that goes into a backfield that, of an offense that can score points like the Falcons is going to see opportunity. Todd Gurley, look at Todd Gurley, rubbish last year.
If a team like the Falcons invest in one of the top running backs, then they're going to be a hot choice, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Look at and people probably overreacted last year, but look at CEH last year. He wasn't talked about as the number 1 running back really, and then he gets drafted to the Chiefs, and all of a sudden people are taking him number 1, and people probably overreacted and overvalued him based on the situation. But
100%, that's it. I mean,
but
we probably should have thought about that situation a little bit more. Like, when have the Chiefs needed a running back? Do you know what I mean? They just don't. So it's kind of like, you're right though. It's like, I think it was more to do with the fact of what Andy Reid has always done with his running backs. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just slightly different because I don't think Andy Reid has ever had a QB like Mahomes. and that kind of wide receiver core. So it's interesting. Like, you're right, you're totally right though. But like, if you could go back now, I just don't think CH would even be a top 5 pick. No way. He feels like an RB2.
Through my team.
In-depth analysis, please.
Well, I mean, I can list you the names off like you did, but
come on.
But Mac Jones, I don't. Again, I've not. To be fair, I've said this before. I don't watch college football. I would love to watch college football, but there's only so many hours in the day, and I don't have time to watch college
You're
football.
not allowed.
Sadly,
Same.
Look, well, that too. But again, I've watched a little bit of film on some guys. I haven't watched any film on any QBs, in fairness, at this point. So I'm just going off some bits and pieces that I've read at this point. There seems to be a lot of people that like Mac Jones. You don't know what that's going to be like, whether it's just the Alabama offense that he's been a product of, and that's why he's done well. But again, in a Superflex league, I'm happy to take that shot on him. In the first round, Michael Carter, he is someone I've watched a little bit of. I like Michael Carter. I think he's just a little bit more of an all-rounder than Gainwell, in my view. And I think he kind of gets somewhat overshadowed by Javonte Williams because they're in the same backfield, and he's the one that seems to be getting all the hype. But I like Carter, so I'm happy to have him there. Tylan Wallace.
Yeah, is a name of a wide receiver.
It is a name of a wide receiver that was relatively high up on the list. Again, that round I looked at Diami Brown. I was possibly going to take, but he went a couple of hooks before me. And then round 4, I wanted Jalen Darden, and apparently he's not on sleeper anywhere. So we had to.
You got real estate instead. That's fine.
So we had to take somebody else instead. So that's my in-depth analysis of my team. But there we go.
Well done.
Thanks. Thank you very much. So I think we've probably waffled around the subject that we don't know a great deal about. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone that joined us for the draft. The plan is that we're going to do another one shortly before, sort of late April, shortly before the NFL draft, and then we'll do another one sort of mid-May after the NFL draft, once we know where everyone's been drafted, just to see how things unfold and how things change. So again, thank you for everyone that joined us. Thank you guys for joining me and giving us your wonderful insights. And thank you to everyone that's watched on the live stream. And hopefully we'll see you again in a few weeks' time for the next one. And we've also, just as a reminder, we've got the live stream on Saturday with all 6 of the 8 Warrior Bowl finalists going to be getting together. We're going to be chatting through their experience of Warrior Bowl, how they found it. And thankfully they've let me tag along as well, because I was nowhere near the final. But somebody has to do the tech, so I'm allowed to join and cling along to you guys.
You're just setting up the winners to look great.
Exactly. Wow. I'll go, and here's the winners. Off you go. But yeah, so that's on Saturday. That's at 9 o'clock UK. That's 4 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, check that out on Saturday as well. And other than that, we will see you in a few weeks' time for the next mock draft. Cheers, guys.
Ta-ra.